Dear boomers, did you know that telling stories can make you a more likable person, a more successful person in your business, just an overall more interesting person as we go ahead? This week we had Matt Dix on this channel, and he has just recently published this book called Stories Tell Sell Story-Worthy Strategies to Grow Your Business and Brand. Stories sell, but stories also tell. So he gives, it's very important if you're telling stories to tell your own story. Try not to tell somebody else's story. So number one, he talks about Jurassic Park. He talked about Jurassic Park, the story of Jurassic Park on my show the other day, saying that so often these plot lines don't have anything to do with what seems obvious. For instance, in Jurassic Park, that movie is not about survival and it's not about dinosaurs. It is about a man's personal transformation from thinking he hates children to suddenly protecting the children that are with him and changing his whole trajectory as to what he thought once and now what he thinks now. And the same, Moby Dick comes to mind. Moby Dick is not about a white whale. It's about a man's struggle within himself to overcome the challenges that he faces in that story. So let's just say that it's not about dinosaurs. Jurassic Park is about the 5-second moments that Matt talked about the other day, the 5-second ahas that happen in these stories. So the 5-second moment is about understanding that there's a transformation that takes place if it's a successful story. There's a transformation that takes place in the heart of the character that we are looking at. So there's the main character in Jurassic Park is Alan Grant. He is the protagonist, and he is introduced as the archaeologist who loves digging up dinosaur bones. And but there is that deeper narrative. He doesn't want children, and that is between the woman he loves wants children, and so they have a basic disagreement going forward. But these children in the movie help him to realize that they're such dear, wonderful creatures, and he wishes that he could have children, because there's a turning point in this story where he is up in a tree with the kids, saving them, telling them he's not going to go to sleep, he's going to protect them, and there's a dinosaur claw that falls out of his pocket, and that is a symbol of the transformation that this character is undergoing. And in every story there has to be a turning point. There has to be a beginning, middle, and end. There has to be a deeper meaning. That deeper meaning has to do with the transformation involved in the story that you're telling about yourself. So if you're telling a story that you believe is important for others to know, you have to include the transformation. You have to include that light bulb moment that changed you from the moment that you started till the end. So there are storytelling techniques that Matt goes over. Now this book will tell you how to succeed at business with the ideas in the book. And that means that if you want to sell something, you really need to sell it in a way that has storytelling intrinsically involved, because there's nothing more boring than going to a PowerPoint presentation, graphs, money, fiscal this, financial that. Nobody can pay attention to that. So you have to tell a story that intrigues people. So you have to understand that stories are what can change how we perceive the world. In storytelling, for instance, the 5-second moment is where the core change or realization happens. It's these moments that make the story impactful. As a storyteller, you have to understand that these moments can enhance how you connect with your audience. And it's not just about recurring or recounting events, it's about sharing changes and realizations that resonate on a deeper level, not only with you, but the people who you are telling the story to. So, great storytellers focus on these transformational moments, and they avoid simply reporting from A to C what happened. They instead talk about the vulnerability, making them more authentic and engaging. I love the story of the one woman who was had an aha moment while she was drinking 3 glasses of wine during the pandemic. And when she would tell the story, she left out the fact that she had drunk 3 glasses of wine, which the story lacked substance until she decided to include that detail, and people could then suddenly relate to her. And that's a very important point. There are things that happen to you that you don't want to tell anybody, especially a cold audience. And even a warm audience, you probably wouldn't tell your story to them either. So you have to strive for being authentic, and whether it's on stage or at a dinner table, be authentic and create genuine connection through the story. And don't have dramatic openings or expectations about what the story is about. It's just dive into your narrative with forward movement and location. That's important. For leaders or anyone wanting to improve their storytelling practice, homework for life. He talks about homework for life. Oh my gosh. So I have started to do that too. Homework for life. So every day, at the end of the day, or else maybe even during the day, I will outline things not in any great detail. Not in any great detail, but I will outline a few things that happened to me during the day. And usually there are things that happen that I find to be quite amazing. And I'll write them down too. As I'm walking the dog, and just a small detail like pouring sweat off my body, I can write that down because it was pretty severe. It's been very hot around here. So I would write that down. And of course, some of the events that happened this week with President Biden stepping down and him endorsing Kamala, that was a perfect time to start the homework for life, because our lives are about to change in ways that I find to be intriguing and exciting. I remember the days when John F. Kennedy was running for president, the Camelot years. That was so exciting. The whole world, the Camelot, the whole country, and including my young self, I could feel everybody being very, very happy. Not that President Eisenhower was a terrible president, he wasn't, but there's something about the youthfulness of the office of the presidency that resonated with so many people. Then the next time that happened, I believe, was with Barack Obama. Very, very exciting. Everybody loved, he's very charismatic, and so is his family. Michelle Obama is wonderful. That's why everybody wanted her to run for president, but she hates politics. Now we have Kamala, and as you know, the excitement of the money-making, the fundraising capacity that she has, and from the grassroots, not from people that are wealthy, and her obvious joy in life. The fact that the Republicans would criticize her dancing. Oh my gosh, what is that all about? So we have to connect. It's not just Kamala suddenly becoming the presidential nominee, and that will be something that happens more likely at the convention. Of course, it will happen, but it has to do with how it was, to me, a devastating few years in this country, watching our rights and our freedoms being taken away, especially women's rights and our freedom to make decisions about our own body. So it is very, very fitting for the topic for this time to be freedom. America is a country that has always loved freedom. That was how our forefathers, they emphasized freedom. They emphasized equality. And this is what we're getting back to right now. This is great. The freedom, we are fighting for our freedoms, and we don't need them to be taken away. So then, this homework for life is what I was starting to talk about. What a great week to start homework for life, because I was getting to be very worried about a Trump presidency, especially Project 2025, and especially people whom I love, not taking this 2025 project seriously or even believing that it's possible. But these authoritarian wannabes wanted this to happen. There's no doubt in my mind. They've been wanting this to happen for a long time. So, anyway, we have to improve our stories when we're talking to people, particularly about, let's say, in this book, we're talking about things that we want to deliver to the public in a way that is engaging. So, think of a story that has a transformation that deals with you. It's your story regarding your product or service. And that's the book goes into great detail about the framework of a story. Tell your own story. Don't tell anybody else's story. And the homework for life. What the homework for life does is, after you've done it for a while and you go back and read what it is that you put down, you can create stories surrounding it will bring back memories and connect the memories to the present day, so that those, and you can see how your life unfolds and in the ordinary, not obviously the story about President Biden stepping down and Kamala taking his place is not ordinary, but ordinary things can happen out of that. And there's no doubt about that in my mind. So whether you're leading a team or speaking at an event, embedding your core message within a personal story can be so powerful. And it's those authentic and vulnerable stories that inspire and connect you with your audience on a profound level. So remember that the end of formal education is just the beginning of lifelong learning. And this is part of it. This is part of what this channel is about, is learning to just take every day a step above the day before in terms of gratitude, love, and unconditional forgiveness, and having the heart and the brain synchronize so that you can heal. Your body is your greatest friend. There should be a video that comes up here. Take a look and have a great day, weekend. Bye.